I think chocolate digestives are very underrated.
I agree.
Oh, have a look. Yeah, look at it, man. They're on camera. Look at it. Ah. And you all might be going. Just chewing, 1 second. Wow, what a. Carry on, mate. Yeah, lovely. Go straight round. You want me going, oh, that's such a sexy looking wagon, blah, blah, blah. Well, one, it's not a black cab. I want a black cab. Two, the second Arctic that we bought that you actually saw on the Colson video that we did last week, it's pulling in now, and we've had that sign written, and it looks amazing. Cześć! Bine!
Hello, video. Good Arbeit.
Yeah?
Yes.
If he took the ring to Mordor, you wouldn't actually think twice about it, would you? Oh, look at that!
You spelt it wrong.
When I used to box, right, and they got my name wrong on the announcement, he's like, oh, in the red corner, Harry Tarono.
It's Harry Tarono.
I used to win those fights.
Did you?
When they did my name right, I was like wrong. Right then, Will, look at that, look at that. So straight away, first wagon, that is not the smartest looking Arctic trailer you've ever seen. We have got absolutely everything we want in it. Smart, black, uniform, nothing over the top. And on the sides, if you see this on the road now, you know it's the Scrapkings truck. How amazing. That is a rented tractor unit. So I want to get rid of it. It's no good. I want a nice V8 Scania. We're on the lookout for one. We're in no rush, but that is the next purchase. We might be going to look at one in an hour.
Ooh.
From John Paul, who sold us the 2 skip lorries that you saw in the last week's episode the week before. I was very, very, very pleased with the trailers. I'm so happy. Right, we're getting back down. Let's go. Look at that, Will. Look at the motors we've got. Seriously, I reckon there's 300 tonne here now.
I'm glad to not see any fridge tops.
We've got 3 roll-ons full of them. But well, I'm buying that many. Well, I'm not buying any motors in. Like, a lot of customers are giving me motors on the basis of when you're set up, which is like so close. We're weeks away, literally a couple of weeks, maybe 3, and I'll be like, bosh, licensed out my brains. Oh, you got motors out of the country, no stress. It's all to do with this new environmental safety procedure that is here to tackle a thing called POPs waste, right? So they've already done it on cable. Now, you might not have noticed that because a lot of the cable that if you're a tatter or you're an electrician or something, you won't be selling it to somebody who's exporting it because there's that many massive granulators in the UK now. The prices of exporting are probably not as good as the granulation price in the UK. So a lot of it will stay in-house. That's why it's not been affected. If you want to export cable now, the plastic is classed as POPs waste. So we've recently decided that electric motors are contaminated with POPs waste. So basically on your electric motors, so look at that pile now, this one, that is a hazardous motor. Looks pretty clean to me, right? There's no attachments to it, anything like that. However, according to the EA, this bit of cable here, this plug attachment and that plastic on the end is what's making that hazardous material to export. It's not just from us though, it's to Pakistan, it's like Europe, there's loads of, it's not just the UK. But if they're gonna, so they said to me, and the EA came down the other day, if you were to clean all of the plastic and cables off, you can export them now, not a problem. Well, I've got 300 tonne of 10,000 motors there. It's an impossible job. And then obviously you don't want to like fill a container up, send it out, and they open the doors and they find one and reject the whole load. People's loads have been rejected very recently for, you know, missing the January the 1st shipping and just getting caught with, well, hazardous motors. Listen, this POPs waste, yeah, it's all to do with plastics and fabrics and this, that, the other. So your sofa, for example, is classed as POP waste to be recycled. However, you're allowed to have a sofa in every room in your house and sit on it every evening, but you can't recycle it. Make that make sense to me. It's ridiculous. But these are the implications the government are putting into place, which bottom line, I imagine, is going to come at a cost. That cost will then come off the price per tonne from the end user down to the middleman like myself buying it, and then down to my customers. If, you know, say it costs £50 a tonne, consignment fees and transport costs, moving hazardous goods, this, that, the other, that's just going to come off the motor price. It is what it is. I imagine it's the start of a lot of legislation involving a lot of recycling that eventually the red tape around this industry is going to be so much, it's going to be really difficult to progress. But
What else has been banned?
well,
Microwaves.
yeah, well, microwaves are technically at the same time. It's like TV screens, stuff like that. It's all coming down to this pop waste, like, and as you know, and as all the tatters and the guys in the scrap trade watching, you're never going to say no to picking up a microwave as light iron, right? It's such a hard thing to police, but unfortunately that is the way it's going. I imagine in the next few months, watch your back. I imagine in the next few months, every scrapyard's going to be not accepting microwaves. And then also, as a recycler, I have to then, you know, get rid of my pop waste to recycle an authorised recycling plant, for example, and then email every time I do that a consignment note to the EA so they know that we're keeping on top of it, we're doing it correctly, and we're doing it by the book and by law. So it's just a little bit more work for everyone, really. But I suppose if it's got to be done, it's got to be done. There's no way around it. It's quite factual, that was, wasn't it? God, I'm getting good at this. It's only took me 3 years.
Do you need to sit down after that on your pop sofa?
I need to go have a cigarette and a tug, I think. Oh, hang on. While we're here, let me try and educate you guys. Now I'm trying to find one that I think would be classed as a clean motor to export. So that one's not. That is not a clean motor for export because of the wiring on it, right? I think. Still a bit vague, but that's what I think it is. It's all to do with these wires, plastics, right?
Yeah.
Ugh. That's heavy that looks. Oh no! I thought that was gonna be a great one, but that's the problem. That's the wire that's causing that. So technically, unscrew those, take that wire off. So this is just spotless, like that's an electric motor only, no attachments. That would be okay to export as it is now. So if I was buying one a day in, you could keep on top of it. But when you're buying hundreds of tons and having them tipped out of wagons, you know, it's an impossible thing to police. Annoyingly, right, the more cable you have on a motor, the higher the copper percentage is of that item, so it's worth more money. So as a recycler, they work off, say they work on 8% copper content on an electric motor, but you leave on all that wire, the copper percentage on that motor will be higher than if it wasn't on there. So for a financial point of view and a recycling point of view, the yield is better, right? So that motor's worth more money with that wire on, but it's not because of the f***ing plastic on it and this hazardous waste transport thing and whatnot.
Basically, the more it's worth, the more it's banned.
Well, yeah. But look at that there. There's a motor up there and it must have 2 kilos of singles on it, really. So we should take that off, right? But when you're loading the boxes out, you know, it goes in the load, it is what it is. You know, I haven't bought the singles on top of that, so just let it go, right? The exporter's buzzing because after it's melted down, you're going to get a heavier copper bar. So it's just the government's interfering, which I'm not saying it's bad, I'm not saying it's good, I'm just saying it's making us work more. And I would like to say that I'm at the forefront of combating this and making it accessible for everybody else to export and get back into it. But a lot of people are struggling to find homes and get, well, I'm being offered hundreds of tons a day of motors and I've only physically got so much space. So my key customers that sold to me before, I'm buying theirs, having theirs off them. And then hopefully when the license is all correct, I can shift all of this in a couple of weeks and then back to it. Yeah. Well, would you like to have a tourist update?
I would.
Come on, let's go, follow me. Quick, go, 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 go. Since Brandon took over the machine, he's had 2 fires.
That's not good. We have one.
Oh, God. 1. You had 2? We had a little fire yesterday. Bailing cars, it is what it is, but luckily there's no damage. And the Taurus, for once, is touch wood.
You know what? Get back.
Loads of little... Ow. loads of little tiny teething problems. So I showed everybody the new controls we had to do all the revs and the joysticks and stuff. One of the wires had a little fault on, so one of the wings wasn't closing over properly yesterday. So engineers come out, search machine, couldn't find a fault, managed to figure out that just the joint in the control is loose, so that's rewire the joystick, which is such a simple problem, but it's like put us down for 6 hours, isn't it? So back at it now. Nice pile of 1 and 2. It's all going well. I mean, look, that is really nice pile of 1 and 2 there. It's probably, there's probably just shy of 100 tons. But guys, we've got, we're having a go. We're upgrading. We're going to start delivering things on our own Arctic. So, in terms of progression for 2025, we've already made massive starts and massive leaps, and it's all going in the right direction. So we can't moan. We have bought that Lefort that we showed you on the channel the other day. We can't afford downtime. The downtime is what kills us as a business. The Taurus, unfortunately, is down quite a lot. Bottom line, when it runs, it's amazing. Can't knock the machine. But when it isn't, and that's more than it should be, I'm not going to get involved in why, but anyway, it's down more than it should be. We've bought that mobile Lefort so we can go and get it. It's off-site, it's been installed somewhere, and we can go and get it, bring it into the yard and continue processing, which is what we need to be doing at the moment. So yeah, it's all go.
So to answer that question,
what happens to showing us the new kit that would allow you to pay more on light iron? I'm going to show you it right now.
it was the wagons, wasn't it?
It's not so much new kits. It's a new business venture in terms of it's a new contract. It's a new buyer. It's all this. So we've been trialing it for a week. If it goes well, I think there might be a small margin of room. However, since I put that video out, now when's this video going out now?
Next Sunday.
Next Sunday. So in 10 days. Right, so this is where you've got to be careful, Jason Alexander. I'm videoing this 10 days before you're watching it. Now, I've been told this week that the prices might be coming off £10 a tonne. So the increase in my light iron price to my customers might be me keeping it the same. Instead of paying 145, it should be 135, but I might be able to keep it at 145. We will see. Bearing in mind, you're watching this 10 days after I'm talking about it, so I don't know.
We'll do a live closer to the time.
We should go live today. We'll do it on the way to the thing. So we have it.
Am I right in saying that they have scales built in?
Yes, they have digital scales. So, all red on here. Shane's phone has an app that actually gives him the gross and the net and all of that. So he knows he's not going to be overloaded. The actual physical dashboard scales on the trailer give him the net. So between the two, he can make sure that he's driving in according to the law of being at a maximum weight, including him, fuel, and everything, of 44 tons. And he'll carry a payload of about 25 tons. So brilliant addition to HW Taroni Metals. So now all we've got to do is keep on top of all of this light iron and get it processed and make ourselves productive with the steel. These are my equipment buying glasses.
Yeah.
10 to 2.
So what are we going? Where are we going? What?
Obviously, as you've seen, we've got the trailers. We are renting lorries, and Keltruck are very kindly given us a demonstration vehicle to use for a week or so, which we have now, and that is coming up to the end on Thursday next week. And the company that possibly had the sister wagon to the rented one hasn't come back to us, which is annoying. So we're in a little bit of a predicament. We can either find a new rental company or chase up the old one and put a bit of pressure on, or we can buy a wagon. Now, as a business, commercial sense, we don't want to go out there and buy brand new 770 cabs at 160,000 plus the VAT. We are dipping our little toes in we're going to go look at a nice little second-hand one with a decent quality engine, as in the right size, and then hopefully not have to worry about wagons anymore. We've just got one and we can carry on. Hopefully make everything work. And what? To the moon, man. Fly that flag.
What colour is it?
It's white, apparently, because you got to remember, well, a lot of these big firms like Amazons and stuff like this have these lorries on like fleets, and then they change them every 2 years. And they're not interested in colours, I suppose. You can get them repainted and things quite cheap and, you know, easy enough, so that's an option.
Nothing that HT with a rattle can can't sort.
Well, yeah, we've already spoke to a paint shop that can do it over a weekend, so it's not, look, listen, I want to get the wagon sorted so it's something less to worry about, keep the drivers happy. I want one that isn't too big to fuel, because it'll burn more fuel, keep costs down, things like that. So, a lot of thoughts behind it. Everyone looks and goes, they ain't got a clue, he's mental. And also, our wagons, apparently. We've never had an R2 before, so please comment if we're wrong. But for the scrap job, you need to have a tag axle tipping gear on the back end.
I thought so.
Yeah, same time. Yeah. I need to have that as that's a must. If it doesn't have that, I have to get one installed, and they're big money. So, but there is curtain siders and box lorries don't come with those as a standard. It's an option, so I've got to make sure it's got that. However, old Kel Trucko, where we're going now, is aware of the job. So, as in a scrap job.
I'll quickly Google what it is.
Tag axle.
Yeah.
I think it's just so we can tip. I don't think there's much more to it than that.
Would you like to know what a tag axle actually is?
Yep.
It is a wheel on the rear of the vehicle that can steer to improve manoeuvrability.
That's literally not what everyone has been telling me.
That's what Google says it is.
I don't know who's right
It's
then.
an additional steering wheel on
Well, I tell you who will know.
the cow truck.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh.
Oh, look at that one.
Which one?
For sale, black. 500S though, that's the issue. That's a lovely looking wagon though. So the S is the floor, there's the cab type apparently, and the 500 is the engine. So, is that too small? Is it not? I don't know. Is there the black one over there?
Oh, it was a nice bull nose.
Is there? Where?
There, yellow.
Yeah. Ooh. I'm not at bull nose level yet, but I am. Oh, that's a lovely one. Ooh. Oh, there's another black one. What's that one?
We should get out and go and have a look.
I don't know where I'm parking. I don't know where anything is.
Up there.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe not.
GTA made me do it.
Yeah. Can I park here?
Yep. What do you say to your club card?
Well, usually I look at the club card and go, am I going to get any money off that? And you go, no, I'm getting more points.
No, you look at it and say, I just need to scan you.
Wow, you're so disgusting. I can't remember the last time I went. In fact, I don't think I've ever done a food shop. And you know what else I've never ever done?
What?
I put a load of washing on.
I'm not surprised. Is he coming out to us? Or
I don't know,
just...
mate. I'll text him.
Just checking we weren't just sat here.
Right then, where shall I park, Will?
I bet whoever's...
Direct to parking. Let's not take his spot. I want to try and get a good deal.
Oh.
Wait, you said by reception. Where's reception? No, that's got to be reception, isn't it? Ah, customer parking. You're literally on that side of the thing as well.
Yeah, but I wasn't when we went past it. But you were on
You're
that side.
useless.
You're useless.
Axle configuration aside, like why would a 500S not be suitable? So is it
It's more of a driver point of view.
between us? Is it just the driver saying they want a V8?
It is a bit of that as well. You've got to look at residual values and how long you're going to run the vehicle for. You know, you've got to think about the resale value as well.
And the V8's holding it a lot better.
And they do. But something like a 560 or, you know, that's still our 13 litre engines, a 420, 460, 500, 560.
Yeah.
That's our 13 litre engine. 560, that engine, the Swedes always say 10 horsepower per tonne. So you're only running at 44 tonne. So you imagine really a 450 or a 500 engine.
Technically should do it. The only problem with that, where they're going...
Drivers, depending where they're going. You know, if they're going into South Wales, if they're going up to Scotland, they're going where the city areas,
That's
a bit more torque, that kind of thing. You will have that. But
It says that sometimes you're going up ahead and it's like goes down to like 25s and stuff.
So, but a V8's never gonna, never gonna miss.
So what about that, like that blue one? Obviously, again, if it's not the right lifting axle, would a 660 be like more than bang on?
More than enough.
And what about
Tag? I mean, with a mid-lift, that's a mid-lift, so the axle lifts at the middle.
Can you explain that to me? Because everyone keeps telling me about tag lifts. So what's the actual difference?
So your front axle, your steer axle.
Yeah.
And then so this is a tag axle. Just to give you an example. So you've got your drive axle. You've got twin tyres.
Yeah.
And then this axle lifts.
Why?
So they call that a tag. So it's a rear axle lift basically.
Yeah, but why does it lift?
So you have there's a lot of variations of different configurations of trucks. But in the UK, predominantly we'll either run a tag axle or we'll run a mid-lift axle. So a middle lift axle. We call it a mid-lift.
Yeah.
We do a mid-lift twin steer as well, which means this axle lifts and it also steers.
Right.
At the moment, this just lifts; it doesn't steer.
But what's the difference? Why is a tag? Everyone going on at the scrap trade?
So, scrap, waste, construction, things like that. So the wheelbase on this truck, it's measured from the front axle to the first drive. So this has got a lot of shorter wheelbase. But then, do you imagine if you measured from here to there?
But the body of the lorry is the same, though, isn't it?
But if the axle's up,
yeah.
If you put that axle up, because the axle distance is shorter, you turn in circles better. So your manoeuvrability is better. So if a lot of people like tags, for like aggregates and things like that when they're going onto farmyards and
it's a bit tighter.
Like that. They can obviously manoeuvrability, construction sites, things like that. That's why they like.
So why is it a thing for scrap then?
I suppose if you're going into site, but mid-lift actually do. You're not going down, tight, but it's more so led from a driver point of view. And in that case, tags will also, although they're slightly more expensive, roughly about £1,500 more for a tag axle over mid-lift. Residual value, people do prefer.
I've noticed that when I've been looking online and that they're being snapped up a lot quicker.
But in terms of like operation, because in running the vehicle and everything else, a mid-lift to be fine. It's more so for the driver.
That's what we like to go off because we've never had one before.
That's what you do. I mean, ideally, like I say, if we were going to sell you a vehicle brand new, we had 3 months to build it, to specify exactly how you need it. I'd spec the equivalent, the exact same truck as this. You go
at 500.
560.
560.
Because you've got the S cab, which is the biggest cab we do. Tag axle. It's going to be fitted with tipping gear, so it's got everything on. So you could sell that to a customer who runs general haulage.
Yeah, anything.
To a customer that runs construction, waste, farming, whatever it is. That would be the truck to.
So which is the one that you've got here for me now?
This is the only V8 we've got here, which is the 660.
But it's mid.
It's a mid lift, yeah.
So I don't know whether he's gonna. I don't know whether it's workable or not. That you say it is, but I don't want to buy the wrong one.
You've also got to drive it. Obviously they're going to want a higher horsepower. So it's led by.
I think just yeah. So have you got anything here now that is a tag lift then, apart from this white one?
Yeah, I'll have to. I can get a stock. And you can have a look in this one if you want, just to see what it's like inside and stuff. And then I think in this case, because it's your first. You're sort of trialing this in terms of whether it's going to work.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Yeah.
It's probably not the right time to go and fork out on, a brand new.
No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that at all.
So Mr. ADHD has now got all excited and gone and looked at some brand new ones inside in the factory, I believe. But I wasn't allowed to film in there. So I'm just patiently waiting for him to return. All excited from looking at new shiny things.
Lots to think about. We didn't actually go in and discuss a lorry. It was more what is the right one for us. So
I thought you were going to look at new ones.
It's different with obviously skips and roll-ons because we've had them forever. So experience-wise, we know exactly what we want, what spec we want, what's needed, what lifting gear is correct. Bang, done, easy order. Whereas the tractor units, we've never had one before. I think they're quite personal to the driver, and I didn't understand that the tag lift is for tighter areas, this, that, the other. More like educating what we need, and again, it's like having the C63 of C classes, which is sorry, the best of a C-Class, which is C63. If you were just doing your daily commute and you weren't interested in the car, do you need the 63 version? Do you just want a nice 300 diesel, for example? Do the same job, it's just being flash, having a 770. So yeah, it's finding which one is suitable. So, bottom line of it is, Keltruck are finding us a suitable replacement for the not hired one, the demo one that they have. And I believe that the engine size that we're going to be looking at is 560 to 580.
So you got in your haul.
This is your healthy snacks.
Ooh. Hang on, you've got me things instead of you stealing my things. This is news.
News to me.
Program.
I wanted some crisps.
Would you like to have a very quick look at some comments before you get back to the chaos of the yard? Because I know you've already been hounded.
Eddie Webster, 673, great video. Looking forward to more in 2025. Best channel on YouTube. Thank you very much, mate. You hold the phone. Swally, drivey.
Yep.
A lot of yards from Brummy Banters. A lot of yards are paying Iron Alley on fridge pots. About right, to be fair. Depends what you're getting for Iron Alley, I suppose. But I do volume on fridge motors, so I can't really mix with my Iron Alley, for example. If you're getting like half a ton and you're loading out 10 ton of irony, yeah, you get away with it. You're passing the book on, really. But to do it properly, you can't do that. And they are worth more than Iron Alley, quite a lot more, so it's not worth doing. But they might be worth less with the new product. I don't know how it's gonna work, but keep them. I wouldn't sell them for Irony.
Julian Crow is back with his typical way of commenting, and I expect it as it's written.
Hi lads, belated happy
No.
new. What?
It's in capital.
No, I'm trying to drive over. Hi lads, belated happy new year to you and yours. Now with the pleasantries out of the way, what's happening to scrap prices? They seem to be slowly decreasing into the land of oblivion, or is it just you guys doing so well that the scrapkings every yard is getting vaporised in your meteoric rise? Are they dropping that mad? I think the copper's been quite high recently, to be fair. I don't think they're dropping them. The LME and the copper prices do fluctuate on a daily-ish basis, so. But no, I think the prices are quite good at the minute, across the board. Is it dangerous to angle grind them open, and take out the motor asking for a friend? It depends if you're a Mongol or not. Jason Alexander, what is the issue with the motors? I get the fridge pot issue, but not the motor issue. Also, how can it be cheaper to send a container full of motors 3,000 miles than to process in the UK? I believe a lot of the motors are reused if they work. So obviously selling a motor that is refurbished, it's going to be a lot higher profit margin than breaking one down for recycling content. Also, labour costs in the UK are too high to get 50 blokes to sit there and strip them. They wouldn't do that. And there isn't a machine out there that can recycle a motor as efficiently as someone by hand. So I think there is money in exporting them to somewhere else. I understand your thought process behind it. It does seem like a lot of effort, but people are doing it and it's a massive industry, so there's obviously money involved.
Oh, Top Gun?
Maybe read them out, Will. Maybe a sensible idea.
Oh, Top Gun 6025. I think out of respect for when Richard returns, you should pimp his shaker table up for him. It hasn't been seen for a very long time now. Is it still there?
Yeah, it's still there. Does it work? I don't know.
We could like spray it up gold and make it all flash.
I'd rather pimp his pigeon up, to be honest
That
with you.
sounds like euphemism. But yeah, it's a good idea.
Instead of choke the chicken, it's pimp
Is
the
there
pigeon.
any local artists that could pimp up his pigeon?
I could ask Mason Newman.
You could. Pig Life 101. Lovely new motors. Has Stan bagged one of them? The Scanias are beautiful to ride.
No, because Stan has done his lorry thing.
Lorry thing.
Yeah, Stan has his lorry license upon the grandfather rights of before like 19 99 or something, you know, you're allowed to drive it to a 7.5 tonner without doing a HGV course. So no, that's why Standard has a dinky wagon, because he doesn't have the qualifications to drive anything bigger. True.
Can you imagine that road rage behind something bigger?
Any wagon bigger, you wouldn't be able to reach the pedals.
Nick Schultz, 2965. If you weren't a scrap dealer, if you weren't a scrap dealer, you would have your own sweet shop. Not that you would sell any, because you would have eaten them all.
Probably.
As proven right now.
No, I'm addicted to crisps. Salt and vanilla crisps specifically, I can't say no to them. Can't do it.
And in typical fashion of when you would go, oh, and now I've scrolled to a picture of. The next thing, which I'll insert here, is a video of you almost, but not, getting a parking ticket.
What?
You, when you nearly got a parking ticket.
I nearly got one, yeah, but I didn't.
Yeah, that's what I said. Nearly, but not.
Right. I apologise for a short and sharp ending, but I have got so much to do, as usual. So I will love and leave you. Phil, have you got a nice bin there?
Of course.
There we go. Would you like the secondarily dunk packet? Would you like that? I'll have this one. Can you bin this also, please? What? They don't bin it? Oh, you've done it? Yeah, and that one, mate. Thank you very much, Phil. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Sorry.
Oh, they used to have tin foil tops. Now it's plastic.
Pops.
I wonder if these are any good. I had these when I was a kid. I have one more. Just try and clean out the rest of this little hole.
Not want to get your finger in.
Oh,
Partial to a nice cheesy finger.
I've got cheesy fingers in me.
In you?
Listen, wait till everyone sees how good I am with this tongue getting this out.
Right. Well, on that note, it's not what you know.
So you blow, Will.
No.
Right, I'm gonna have to put my finger in it. Very nice, cheesy. Don't like put all this last 5 minutes in the episode, because I do feel like.
That was just the sign out. That bit's got to go in there.
Oh, God.
Oh, we got more crisps in the back.
Have I? I
That pure
bought them.
excitement.
I bought them when we weren't shooting. They've been in there since we were shooting.
Were they? Surprise.
Right, right. Wouldn't believe you.
Goodbye. Like, share, subscribe.
Pardon?
Like, share, subscribe.
Ah! I did something vile.
Really stern face with like a finger out. Perfect.